Some like the most amazing songs in like the world of vocaloid. I mean, like the world, because come on, how can you not like Dance of Many? But there are some songs with kind of horrifying meanings, if you ask me, and we're going to be going through those. So number one is Tokyo Teddy Bear. This song, like from the PV itself, you can tell the song is going to be a really horrifying song. Because the PV shows many scissor cuts and like the whole PV shows something to do with suicide and self-harm. But basically in the song, Rin runs away from her family because she feels like she's not wanted. She finds herself stuck in the streets and she's only got her teddy bear that she calls her friend. She then comes to the realization that without her family, she can't survive on her own. Only to return there, then she decides to commit suicide. This is only from the interpretations of the lyrics. She also, while she's away, she goes into like crazy mode and she starts hallucinating. I believe that this song's trying to signify that these are different stages of her depression and her like will to doing suicide. So obviously you can see from this TV, it's kind of obvious she wants to like commit suicide or something. So I'm just going to show you the rest of some of the PV so you can make your own judgments. Okay, so that was Tokyo Teddy Bear. Okay. So honestly, the next one might be it wouldn't be a surprise to you, but it's Knife. It's no surprise that a song titled Knife would have a horrifying meaning towards it. It's basically got two group of friends, which are Miku, Rin, and Len. Miku decides that she's better off without Len, so she leaves him to go with Rin on the little adventure type journey. But this ends up to a massive breakup in the group. So then Len goes out to find Miku to kill her to get revenge on her for leaving him. She sees Miku with Rin, so he then kills Miku, and then Rin takes him out, and then she's left on her own. Which, in the end, she probably commits suicide because she's killed somebody and she's meant to be peaceful. This isn't shown in the song, like, lyrics, like that she commits suicide, but I feel like she does because it just makes sense with the storyline of this whole song. Obviously, I'm not going to go through the whole, like, in-depth type of thing about it and, like, all backstory, but that's basically the main concept. You can actually see Miku and Len dying in this song, and how Rin looks into the moon, which signifies that she's committed suicide. I'll just show you some of the fights they have. So, I mean, that one's a pretty obvious spot, honestly, because, you know, it's literally called Knife. So, I mean, you probably expected that to be on the list. Okay. So, another one that you may not have expected, but if you know the meaning of it, it's pretty easy. Which is, if I can find it, Pinky Swear. Right. Before I get into anything, I just need to display the origin of what the song is completely about. So in Japan, if you want to love somebody and you make like in certain religions in Japan, should I say, this isn't to the whole of Japan obviously. If you believe that you found the perfect person, each person will cut off one of their pinkies and give it to each other in a box. This signifies a pinky promise that they will not cheat on each other. This song shows Miku's journey through this and how it affects her, and there's two versions of her in this song. Haku in this case, Haku's being the first bit, which is the one who does kill, like, chop up the finger, and Miku, which is the other Meiko, I mean, I can't get the name straight. She's the other version, which is basically her consciousness trying to stop her, but she then gives in and then eventually does chop off her finger, and it is shown in the PV. as you see in this, like this whole setting of the song, is that it shows that Mako, the other Miku, is in like some sort of really rich place, but this is just her thinking that this is what's gonna happen if they do get married or something. I'm just gonna show you the rest of the PV, and it should explain itself once you see the chopping off the finger. Oh, I also want to point out that in the lyrics it does say that the whole thing, the relationship didn't work out properly. So Miku basically chopped off a finger for nothing. And apparently the person's cheated after a few days of the relationship, which makes this song a lot sadder. She's also very, like, you know, shady about doing this because she doesn't know what's going to happen. And when she does get cheated on, she probably will go and, like, you know, commit suicide or something. Like, a lot of these songs include suicide. As you can see here, she has a knife, and I don't know how this PV made it into the actual finish of the release, like the release of the game, because it literally shows her. I think it's right now. I mean, you can't exactly see it, but you can tell that her pinky gets a lot shorter. And you can see there's the box there, and she clicks on the chain for her there. And you can see her pinky's all bandaged up as well, and it's a lot shorter than her other fingers, like her other pinky. So that song is pretty morbid. Okay. But obviously, the girl things there, they're just about, you know, self-harm and stuff. And obviously that's bad, but there is a few songs that are a tiny bit worse. And a really good example of this is Acute. So Acute is a song where it's a love triangle between Kaito, Miku, and Luka. Kaito gets in a relationship with Miku, but Miku takes it a bit too far and decides that they're husbands, like husband and wife, like even though Miku was underage in the story. Kaito then goes on to cheat on her with Luka. None of Luka and Miku do not have any idea that they're with Kaito. So it ends up in a massive trauma. Miku tries to commit suicide and tries to kill Kaito as well. This fails and they both go into intensive care while Luka waits for her. And then the story continues in React, which is where the same story occurs, apart from it's with Rin, Miku, and Len, and obviously Miku gets with Len in the end, and then Rin commits suicide. This thing's just really sad because this stuff can happen in real life, and it shows the effects of like what love can do to you. So, I mean, suicide's a real issue, but I wouldn't call this one like as morbid as the other ones. But it's just the fact that it's kind of like something that happens every single day, like, and it can happen to anyone. And that's why I picked Acute as number 2. Okay, honestly, I just can't wait to get onto this one. And number 1, if you've seen a few of my videos, you probably know that number 1 is Rolling Girl. Okay, if you haven't seen my English cover of Rolling Girl, basically the song's about a girl who is suicidal and eventually lets her depression take the best of her, like, and then she commits suicide, and the ending lyrics are, "I'll stop your breath from seeping out for now," which is indicating that she's just letting depression take over her body and just allowing herself to die. And this song is also very, like, horrifying, like, really, like, morbid and stuff, because this stuff also happens kind of more often than things like Acute do. And I feel like the whole idea of suicide itself is a really bad thought, and this song portrays it really well. If you want any like more info, go check out GB4Night because she did an amazing cover of it. Because it also shows how Miku goes through multiple stages of depression and how it leads to suicide. For example, her first stage of depression is how she feels like she's lonely and she can't do anything about it, and that she's like trapped in this world and nobody loves her, and she runs away from her family. It's kind of like Tokyo Teddy Pie, apart from the bit that it just shows how horrible this life can be. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this list. Tell me if there's anything that you don't really agree with, honestly, because I'm not sure if I've made any mistakes in the placement of these. So I'm going to be doing another stream, hopefully. So yeah, hope you guys